In a move that has sent ripples across the nation's political landscape, President Cyril Ramaphosa has reportedly reached out to leaders of all major political parties, delivering what sources describe as pleading messages urging collaboration, dialogue, and unity in the face of growing governance challenges. These unprecedented communications come at a time when South Africa finds itself grappling with political turbulence, economic uncertainty, and mounting public discontent over leadership decisions. According to insiders familiar with the president's communications, Ramaphosa's outreach was not merely symbolic. Rather, it reflects an urgent attempt to stabilize government operations and ensure that political divisions do not escalate into institutional paralysis. The messages reportedly emphasized the importance of prioritizing national interest over party agendas, highlighting the dangers of prolonged discord within parliament and government structures. The president's appeal comes amid an intensifying debate over the direction of South Africa's leadership. Over the past months, tensions within the ruling African National Congress (ANC) have been mirrored by growing frictions with opposition parties, with frequent clashes over policy, state resource allocation, and the handling of critical issues such as corruption, public service inefficiencies, and social unrest. Analysts suggest that these messages are Ramaphosa's effort to prevent political rivalry from spilling over into administrative stagnation, which could exacerbate the nation's economic woes and undermine public confidence in democratic institutions. Sources indicate that in his communications, Ramaphosa stressed the significance of collective responsibility. While acknowledging the natural role of political contestation in a democracy, the president is reported to have urged leaders to approach disagreements with a spirit of compromise, citing South Africa's historical struggles and the delicate balance required to uphold both governance and social cohesion. These messages reportedly included direct calls for strategic cooperation on pressing national projects, ranging from infrastructure development and energy security to social welfare programs and the fight against corruption. Political analysts have pointed out that Ramaphosa's move is both bold and risky. By personally intervening and appealing to leaders across the spectrum, the president is signaling a shift from conventional party negotiations toward a more inclusive approach to governance. Observers note that such engagement, if successful, could reinforce institutional stability and foster a cooperative political culture. However, critics argue that the messages could also be perceived as overreach or desperation, potentially emboldening parties to challenge the president's authority in pursuit of partisan interests. The timing of these messages is particularly noteworthy. With South Africa facing mounting economic pressures, including rising unemployment rates, inflationary pressures, and challenges in public service delivery, the need for cohesive leadership has never been more urgent. Ramaphosa's communications, therefore, are seen as an effort to bridge divides that threaten not only the functionality of government but also public trust in the nation's democratic framework. While the contents of the president's messages remain confidential, insiders suggest that they reflect both a conciliatory tone and a strategic urgency. The communications reportedly call on party leaders to identify areas of mutual interest, commit to transparent dialogue, and prioritize national stability above political rivalry. Observers have described the approach as an acknowledgement that South Africa's leadership challenges are too complex and multifaceted to be addressed through unilateral decision-making or adversarial politics alone. Early responses from political parties have been mixed. Some opposition parties have welcomed the outreach as a positive step toward constructive engagement, highlighting that collaboration on critical national issues could yield tangible benefits for citizens. Meanwhile, certain factions within the ANC and other parties have reportedly approached the messages with caution, signaling that while dialogue is essential, it must be accompanied by concrete action and accountability from all sides. Political commentators suggest that the president's move may also serve a longer-term purpose, setting the stage for reforms in governance and inter-party relations that could redefine South Africa's political culture. By appealing directly to party leaders, Ramaphosa appears to be asserting the principle that leadership is not merely about party dominance but about stewardship, service, and the collective well-being of the nation. Ultimately, the effectiveness of President Ramaphosa's plea will depend on the willingness of South Africa's political actors to rise above entrenched partisanship. In a climate where political discourse is often polarized, the success of such an initiative could signal a new era of cooperation and responsible governance. Conversely, failure to heed the president's messages could deepen divisions, heighten public frustration, and strain the delicate machinery of government at a time when national unity is more critical than ever. As the nation awaits responses from various political quarters, one thing is clear: the president's messages mark a significant moment in South Africa's political journey, a moment where leadership, dialogue, and compromise are being put to the ultimate test. The eyes of the nation are watching closely, hoping that this appeal will catalyze meaningful cooperation rather than further entrenchment of divisions.